Jacob Kirkbride, SAFC Fan TV, and yeah, this is a video that I'd never ever thought I'd have to make since this channel first began. Basically, the news has broken today that the Premier League and the Football League has suspended all activity from at least till the 5th of April, so 3 weeks, all because of the coronavirus, which is spreading like wildfire across the world. If people don't know what it was a virus that started out in China, which shut down all activity over there, and there was new built hospitals all of a sudden over in China to try and cope with it, and yeah, it's found its way to this part of the world, which is caused massive effect on football, especially in Italy, for example. Serie A is just on complete shutdown. La Liga has been suspended. A key example, I remember one game in Italy last week, even before fans could get in the ground. I think you had to prove where you'd been in the last 3 weeks, but personally I think it's 100% the right decision. Another key thing to note also is people in football that are affected, the likes of Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta and Chelsea midfielder Callum Hudson-Odoi as well, have all been tested positive for the virus, so thoughts and prayers go out to them. But what will that mean in general for Sunderland Football Club going into the future? I mean, could there be a possibility of the season being cancelled in general? Or, because we're a third of the way through now, will they potentially look at a slot if the virus situation starts to calm down to play our remaining games in the summer months? And obviously there's talk going on at the moment of potentially moving the European Championships, which is meant to be played across Europe, into the summer of 2021, which a lot of fixture scheduling is obviously going to have to be moved around if that's the case. But at this moment in time, that's looking very likely, because with this virus at the moment, nothing's slowing down. Honestly, the main worry I have at the moment is, especially in non-league, which some fixtures across England are going ahead over the weekend, which obviously I know non-league doesn't attract as big a crowds as they do in the Football League, but then again, it's still, the risk is still there. I mean, like, fans are still going to be turning up at the end of the day. Certain players, if they've come into contact with certain people, could that potentially put other opposition players, their squad members, and even fans in danger as well. Obviously, health remains the main priority in this situation, especially with older supporters having a weaker immune system. That means they're a lot more in danger compared to the younger generation. Not just football, obviously, other sports have been affected by this virus. Obviously, there's doubt whether the Olympics in Tokyo are going to go ahead. Formula One has been a major shutdown at the moment, and also the Golf Masters as well, which is been called off completely, as announced today. But the very puzzling decision is the final day at Cheltenham was allowed to go ahead, which I just found baffling, because Cheltenham draws so many large crowds every single year, and yeah, Cheltenham's one of those events where people come together from all different backgrounds, and yeah, really really draw in the large crowds. And yeah, it was basically just a bit of a strange decision that was allowed to go ahead. There's been an absolute uproar about it on social media, but I guess in times like this, in the world of football, fans really need to stick together and come together as one. I remember looking on Twitter today, Aston Villa have announced that all the food that the club have packed together ready for the game that they were meant to play tomorrow is going to be donated to a homeless charity, which is absolutely fantastic to see. It just shows that at this moment in time, it's all about putting all of the team's priorities aside at the moment, and just it's really worrying. I mean, in the world of football, I don't think there's been anything like this since the Second World War called off football in the 1940s. At the moment, I mean, it's in my lifetime, especially, I've never ever seen anything like this. Honestly, it's so surreal, and now it's happening. It's like, I think this will be just going back to what I said earlier. I just couldn't get my words out. A chance for football supporters to really come together and just unite in the really dark time for the game at the moment, and just obviously it's a disappointment, especially for if the season is cancelled now. All the hard work that especially the likes of Liverpool, who are at the top of the Premier League, could their hard work be undone? Especially teams fighting not to go down as well. Teams scrapping like we are for a playoff place. It's I think at this moment in time, because of the seriousness of it, it's that just all needs to be put aside and just really reflect on the real global situation that's going on at the moment, because it's honestly affected so many people from across the globe. I mean, that there's been deaths of this as well, and it's just you don't know how to take it in. I mean, as a supporter, you feel hopeless at times, sort of not hopeless, helpless, because you can't do anything other than do what the government says, which is obviously like wash your hands, and if you've got hand sanitizer, use that as well. But obviously without football on, over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we hope to continue producing content as much as we can. We will keep you posted on our social media platforms. But going back to what I said just there, as the government says, don't forget to, if you spot any of the symptoms in other people, make sure that you encourage them, or if you find symptoms in yourself, to stay in self-isolation. Make sure you wash your hands. If you've got hand sanitizer, use plenty of that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And in dark times like this, keep the faith, because all football fans and people in general, sports lovers across the globe, are going to need it.